This week, the countdown to the ChaoEmperor's 2018 Florida vacation kicks off, as Chao Racing 2018 comes to you live from the Sunshine State of Daytona Beach in Florida for week-long action, starring the sunniest host in them all, Mr. Brian Shannings. Hello, Daytona Beach, are you ready for some more fun? Yes, we are. Hope to see the ChaoEmperor there. And how we get fans off? Well, in just a few short days, our beloved ChaoEmperor is going to be on his way to Florida to have his annual vacation. Of course, there'll be another vacation for ChaoEmperor later on this year. But today, our 48 superstars are doing some bout here in the Sunshine State of Daytona Beach, Florida, and we're going to kick off that action right away. Paul, tell us where we are to start things off for week 11. Alright, Brandon. This week's format will be in a tag team format. And to start on week 11, we have Kyle Eastman teaming up with Bobby K to face Alvin Sr. and Danielle Heaton, better known as the Steel Drive. As usual, the Emerald course is where we have our races. As we take a look at the first lineup of this first race, and let's send it down to the field for the first time this week. Let the countdown to Child's Florida vacation begin. Please start the race. Alright, there goes the first two teams having fun in the Sunshine State, and so are all the other 22 teams in the week. Right now we're focusing on this first race of the schedule, as the Ford Chao Chick the palm trees are bringing down that coconut shaped fruit, and now they're going to eat the fruit, and it looks like Daniel here is dancing. The Free Chao off and running. Kyle Eastman and Bobby K have a 2-on-1 advantage over He's Senior of Steel Drive, and who will get the first opening toss of the week? It's number 1 who gets it, and it looks like number 7 is going to best try and get attention here. Number 2 is dancing all the way in back in the palm trees, so now he's going to be left behind competition. And now number 8 was scored rest, so he's better to join number 2. These sweet 2 Chao are going to be heading for the water. And look at this. The Bobby Man of Bobby K was POS number 2 in this race, and he will leave Kyle Leachman in the dust. Now he will battle with Alvin Sr. up in the front. Kyle Leachman was going to rest, so now he will drop down a couple places. Bobby K is doing his best, trying to make the pass from Alvin Sr. in a hurry. And who will get the next command? Number 2 will get it. Trying desperately to catch up after rushing for the water. Right now, it looks like Daniel here is trying to desperately to make a pass too. He's trying to be his best to stay alive in the game. He is currently battling with number 1 for 4th place, and number 2 taunts for more and trying to get some attention here. Oh, Daniel here will be heading alright. Number 8 will have the next command. Yes. Meanwhile, out here Senior and Kyle Leachman are battling in front, with Bobby Gang pausing for a moment right on their tail. As the next POS we made by number 7, who is trying number 2 in the dust. And it looks like Daniel Heenan is trying to make a statement in everyone. He is battling with Bobby King for 3rd place. And let's find out who will get the next POS. It's number 8, making his 2nd speed bus in the race. And numbers 2 and 7 are right on their tail, basically clogging up the wall. Now who's going to get a speed bus? We head back to the Bobby Main of Bobby K. Will his team be able to hold on for the lead? He will be. So Kyle Leachman and Bobby K are expected to get the win over the Steel Drive this week, which means they're going to be on the board for the first time this season, as Kyle Leachman makes his way towards the goal line. As number 8 takes his first speed bus to the race, Kyle Leachman and Bobby K are going to get the first win of the 2018 tag team season right over here. Kyle Leachman and Bobby K hold on to the Steel Drive for the victory. As number 2 will get POS to close on the first race of the week. Kyle and Bobby are on the board for the first time. Yep, easy money for Kyle and Bobby. We will return for race number 2 following a message from this week's sponsor. Alright, Paul. 1 race is in the books. Now let's head over to race number 2. That's fine. Race number 2 will feature John Miller and Fred Harrison of the Dazzling Aces against Stealing Man and Raymond Chante of the Yonkity House. Both teams managed to get the victory in March, but which one of them will continue to improve in April? Well, to find out right now, let's look at these two teams and let's have a challenge! And so begins the second race of the week, as the Lucky Irish is off to a very good start. They're a little bit faster than the other team by the way it looks at it, and one of the Silver Chao going west. Oh no, all chicken the pond race. Well, anyway, there goes both members of the Lucky Irish, and it looks like Fred Harrison is dancing to the beat back at the pond race. As he will get the away toss this time around, now trying to make a comeback after dancing for a while. And guess who's going west? It's number 7, Matsu. Just as he was exiting the opening stretch, now he's getting left behind in the competition. As number 1, who wakes up us now, takes Beaver's number 2 this race. He going leads on the 4th switch out one of the bridges. And look who's in the lead right now! It's the Dazzling Aces who is in the lead, because Fred Harrison has took a shortcut after dancing to the beat earlier in the race. Fred Harrison is leading John Miller for the Dazzling Aces in the Common 1, as John Miller will have the next command because he is cheering on Fred Harrison with all his heart and spirit. Number 2, meanwhile, is getting all alone in last place. As we pass the 1 minute mark sign race, he doesn't want to be left behind on the others in a hurry, but who really got the next command speed bus? We have back to number 1 for the speed bus. That makes his second speed bus race. Fred Harrison is climbing up the wall. He is trying to lead the Dazzling Aces to another 5-minute victory after last month's splendid performance in March. Looks like they might be able to do it again for April. Next speed bus belongs to number 7. And right now it is number 2 who still really needs help that way now and then. Number 2 really needs to get some speed bus, and I mean now. But who really got the next command speed bus? It is going to be John Miller. That makes his second speed bus of the race. And right now he is cheering on Fred Harrison as he approaches the home stretch. Number 1 of the members of the Lucky Irish will be able to catch up to Fred Harrison. The Dazzling Aces are going to get a second straight win this month. As number 7 takes another turn, Fred Harrison lifts John Miller towards the victory over the Lucky Irish. 2 wins in the ball for the Dazzling Aces, and poor number 2 and 8 are both getting left behind, fighting for dear life all the way back. As number 7, who leads the 2 Chao in the dust, is better the closest one out with back-to-back speeders. So now the Dazzling Aces are 2-1 this month. That's right, 2-1. There's more than 7 coming up after this. Alright, it's time now for race 3. That's right, race number 3 will feature last year's runner-up, Dom Reynolds and Luke Green. Dom Reynolds is our current world champion. They'll be taking on JJ Nehemiah and Aura Jones, and this one is going to feature the Golden Chao. Let's see how well they'll fare against these packed up Golden Chao. Everyone is on the clock, and good luck to those 2 teams on the quest for victory. Please start the race. And Donald Reynolds is the rest. That means JJ Nehemiah and Aura Jones will have a 2-1 advantage over Luke Green, but I think Donald Reynolds is in good shape to make a comeback here, folks. He's a good flyer. He is at 5-5 at the 500 mark. He's suffered a couple losses in the past few weeks, but maybe this will be the day he'll get back on track. Right now it is JJ Nehemiah who had control of the lead with numbers 1 and 2 battling for second place right behind him. As the first superstar against Speed Plus is our defending world champion, Dominic. There he is. He's coming right towards 1 to join JJ Nehemiah. And let's see who's going to have Speed Bus number 2 in his race. And that Speed Bus number 2 will be made by his partner, Luke Green, who's also heading for the water. And number 2 is the rest. So Luke Green will have a little bit of catching up to do. Donald Bennings, Hurley leads over JJ Nehemiah up in the front, making way Tom Hill, as his partner Luke Green gets back to XPS, trying to maintain balance with Hill, and he will. Poor Albert Jones is getting almost last place. I highly doubt he'll get any wins for the season. Who got an XPS? It's number 8. Oh, he almost fall. That could mean some serious damage. Well, anyway, he hung on with that one. Meanwhile, Donald is trying his best to defend the lead over JJ Nehemiah. As number 7, well, the next command SPS, and poor Oliver Jones is gonna rest. So he's gonna be all alone while his plays behind the pack. He really needs the Spears to get back in this one, but I don't think that is gonna happen for a while. Yep, he's gonna be left behind for a while, for sure. Next PS belongs to Luke Green. That makes his first PS race. His team is currently in the lead with our defending world champion Dominic's up in the front. And now I do believe it's time for Oliver Jones to get a speed whistle too. Yep, he is going to get a speed whistle, but I think that's always going to get. Possibly until the end of this race, by the way looks at it. Anyway, Dom Reddings is making his way towards the home stretch, trying to defend the lead over JJ Nehemiah in the front. And look at this, Luke Green will get a 4-speed bus for this race. I do believe his team is going to be having to win the result this month. Yep, Donald Redding is going to lead Luke Green towards another step towards fulfilling their redemption for a 2019 title. As number 7 takes his second speed bus and Oliver Jones getting left behind still, Chao went out for Donald and Luke Green. They get a job done this month. Look at Oliver Jones, he's sad with that. As number 7 gets back to XPS, making his first PBS race. Luke Green was signed with a victory comes in second place, followed by number 2 in third place. And I think Oliver Jones is expected to have the last PBS of this race, if we still have time. Yep, he's going to get it. Oliver Jones will close out his PBS. That makes his second PBS of the race, but it's Star Race and Luke Green will emerge as the big bet does for this race. That's right, and we will present the next exciting race of our series after we hear a word from this. And next up, Paul, race number 4 will feature the 2014 Tag Team Champions, Jason Hill and Nick Gimmick against Derek DePlay and Joe Rafferty. Let's find out which one of them will put up the first win of the 2018 Tag Team season. Let's rock this place. Okay, so as of right now, these two teams are 0-2, but one of them will make it 1-2, while the other will have to settle for 0-3 for one more month. So who's gonna get the win for the 2018 season? We'll find out soon enough. Number 7 and 8 will go to rest, so these two shall be left behind, and number 2 is pausing for a win, and there goes Derek DePlay and Jason Hill. These two channels will be battling for the lead up in the front. Which one will come out top? We'll find out soon enough in the only run. As number 7 wins the only toss, but he was busy dancing to the beat. So I do believe he is going to get another turn. But it really looks like, yeah, he drops down last place. And right now it's Nick Gimmick and Joe Rafferty who are battling over at the bridges, heading into the home stretch of the Camwood. And yes indeed, number 7 has indeed went back-to-back speeds to start the race. And right now, guess who's getting left behind in the competition? It's number 8, Natsu. He's trying desperately to stay alive over at the bridges, and he is going to get a speed bus, but I think he needs a lot more help than that to stay in the game. Right now, it is Jason Hill who currently leads over at play, heading into the Sapphire portion of the course. We passed the 1 minute mark, and now number 8 will get back-to-back speed bus. That makes 2 more by 2 more for number 7 and number 8 respectively. All speed bus are consecutive so far. Meanwhile, it looks like Joe Rafferty is having a little bit of trouble trying to stay around the game, and so is Nick Gimmick, who is winning so far at 0-10, and Joe Rafferty goes to rest. As we head back into number 8, that makes his first speed bus race in consecutive so far. Meanwhile, it looks like Jason Hill is trying to defend the lead over Joe Rafferty. Which one will come on top and get the first long-range win? We'll find out soon enough. Next PS belongs to Joe Rafferty, and he pauses for one. That will drop down a couple of places after that speed bus. Nick Gimmick also really needs some help. But let's see who really got the next SPS. It's number 7. That makes his first speed bus to the race. And right now it is Jason Hill, who's trying to lead him into his first long-away win of the season. JJ Nehemiah is right on his tail, trying to make the pass. As number 7 will get back-to-back speed bus for the second time in this race. That brings up the 4 speed bus for this current race. And it looks like Nick Gimmick might be able to get his first win of the season. I don't know. Looks like JC is going to hold on for an easy victory over JJ Nehemiah. Or Derek Play as Joe Rafferty takes the next class appearance. JC lifts Nick Gimmick to his best win of the season. Nick Gimmick is no longer winless. He is now at 1-11. 1-10 at the current one. Nick Gimmick finally gets his best win of the season. Well done. And we have just enough time for one more speed bus over this space, and it will be made by number 2. And poor number 8 has no hope for surviving whatsoever. Alright, so JC and Nick Gimmick got the first win. That's right, and Nick Gimmick got his first career win on his 2018 return. Very interesting. Back in the bid, do not go away. Alright, I hope everyone has a terrific time here at Daytona Beach so far. And who do we have again for race number 5? Race number 5 will feature today's first Tommy and Kenny against Max Lex Sandsburg and the jersey number John Stevenson. Max and John both did very well in their individual play. Will the Days Brothers ever upset the Max and John this week? We'll have to find out right now. Everyone is on the clock, and let's have a Chao race! Alright, so the Days Brothers are trying to pull off a big upset. Will they do it? We'll find out soon enough, because both Max and John have done very well so far. They're pretty good teams. Right now it looks like couples to a Chao are going to rest. And right now the 4 Chao are going to eat food. And there goes Max Lex Sandsburg. He's going to lead over the competition. And he's going to rest. But he will still have a commanding lead because John Stevenson will have control of the lead. And right now number 7 is going to rest as well. As the first superstar to get speed bus is number 1, who desperately is to catch them every now and then. Now we will have 1 or 2 places that time. And right now Tommy Days is out in the water trying to maintain some ground in the current moment. As Max Lex Sandsburg was speed bus number 2 in space. And there he goes, flying over the bridges. John Stevenson carrying the lead after the amethyst portion of the course. Now making his way to the sapphire portion. As the next speeders we made by Big Cherry Tommy Days. Trying to make a miracle statement when upset. Right now numbers 1 and 7 are getting left behind. These 2 ChaoEmperor will do right as we pass the 1 minute mark in this exciting race. As number 7, well to the next command speeders as Kenny Days was going to rest. Meanwhile, John Stevenson is trying his best to defend the lead over Tommy Days, who is battling against his partner, Max Lex Sandsburg. Do you think John and Max will get another easy victory out on number 1? We'll soon know in the only one. Next speed belongs to number 1. That makes his second speed bus to the race. And now will lead poor number 7 and poor Kenny Days left behind in the dust. I don't think anyone will get speed bus for a while. So who will get the next command speed bus while they battle for their life? It is number 8. And that was enough to take the lead over the 4th Super Chao by number 2. And right now back with fun, John Stevenson trying to wrap things up with his partner Max Lex in second place. And Tommy Days with his second speed bus in the race. He is flying towards hell. And that was enough distance to make the pass from John Stevenson. He scored posted upset, folks. As number 1 takes the next speed bus, the Days Brothers are going to upset Max Lex Sandsburg and the jersey of John Stevenson this month. Tommy Days lifts Kenny to upset over Max and John. What a deal! As number 1, we'll get back to next year's maybe a 4 speed bus for this race. I can't believe the Days Brothers actually pulled off one of the biggest upsets of the season. Unbelievable! As number 7 will get a turn now. That makes his second speed bus race, but he was way behind the competition, and that's going to do it. So what an exciting race! I think it's definitely an upset of the year nominee. That's right, they were the true underdogs and they proved that upsets do happen. What a deal. Coming up, we got more strategy for you, but first have a look at this. Okay, Paul, let's sample out race number 6. Race number 6 will feature our defending champions Vince Dayson and Graham Murray against the classic go-getters, the next generation star Antonio Bennett and the part-time racer Chris Schneider. Well, that last race was indeed a miracle victory for today's fellas, and that was indeed an upset of the year nominee, maybe a clear candidate for being upset of the year. We will find out in the year season. But right now, let's head back to this week, and good luck to the next 16 contest for victory, and let's rock this place! Alright, and number 1 is going to rest, so he will be left behind the crowd, and it looks like Antonio Bennett and Graham Murray are going to join these two Chao for a DUI. So it's going to be Vince Dayson versus Chris Schneider up in front, and Vince Dayson is going to rest. That means Chris Schneider will have the upper hand for the classic go-getters. For the moment, he's eating fruit, and there he goes. And number 2 is going to rest. That means Chris Schneider is going to have command on the lead up in the front. As the first superstar gets beat is number 2, who's trying to lead number 4 Silver Chao up in the middle of the pack. Numbers 1, 7 are battling for dear life all the way in the back. As number 7 will get Speedbus number 2 this race. And this is why they should be able to have a chance at repeating a title. Graham Murray has took a shortcut once again. So I do believe Vince Dayson and Graham Murray are going to win this one, as number 7 takes back-to-back speeders, and he flies over the water, and poor number 2 fell over the water. That's going to cause a serious damage. When number 1, wow, the next contest speeders, and we passed the 1 minute mark in second side race. What a shocker! Chris Schneider had the upper hand for his team, but now he gave the lead away to defending champion Graham Murray and Vince Dayson. Boy, he was going to rest for a while, so now he has a meal going and wants to come back in this one. Who got the next speedbus? And it's number 8. Who was trying to catch up with number 7 for the lead of the 4th Switch Chao. And let's see who is going to get the next speedbus. And that next speedbus will be made by number 7. That makes his first speedbus of the race. And meanwhile, it is Graham Murray, who has made it to the top of the wall. Now he is rushing past the waterfall. I do believe they're going to put another win closer towards the repeat title this year for 2019. No doubt about it. Next speedbus belongs to number 2. That makes his second speedbus of the race. And poor number 1 is not going to get a speedbus before it hits the wall. He is going to be busy climbing on the wall all the way in the back. And it looks like Vince Dayson is going to have the next command because his team should be able to get the W this month. Graham Murray is gone, ladies and gentlemen. As number 8 takes next speedbus, you can tell me what up for Vince Dayson and Graham Murray. Another step closer towards a repeat title chance for 2019. Number 1 is getting all alone in last place, just as I expected. Well, he is going to get another speedbus, but he's going to be left behind still. And that's going to do it for this race. So, Vince Dayson and Graham Murray are now 2-1. That's why they're doing a pretty good job in the Road to Repeat campaign. And we'll put that in the second half of the races after this. Do not go away. Hope everyone's enjoying a great time here at Daytona Beach Water for the spring break. By the way, if you happen to see a ChaoEmperor on your way home, or well, you're out and about, be sure to say hi here at Master Enjoys his for vacation. Alright, Paul, let's proceed to the second half of Week 11's Tag Team action. That's right, and for race number 7, we have the Go-Getters 2.0, Biggie Nelson and Rusty Instantly by Jackington. Today, they'll go face to face with the AC Gamer title folks and 2017 senior class rookie Chip Suey. Chip Suey done very well recently. Let's hope he'll keep out in the early one. Let's find out what happened to you. Everyone's on the clock, so without further ado, please start the race. Alright, there goes Chip Suey. His team is off to a very good start. Title folks tried desperately to catch up with the others in a hurry. And it looks like number 7 is the rest, along with Rusty Instantly by Jackington. So these two Chao will be left behind in the crowd. And there goes Chip Suey busting on the line. And look at that. His team is going to have the upper hand for a while because Mickey Nelson is dancing to the beat. And Wrestling Instant Win Jackie Ted will get the opening toss this time. He is better to take the water and try to maintain some ground. Right now it's number 1 who is getting left behind on the competition all the way in the back of the pack. Number 7 Sweet Klein, he's also left behind. Well, number 1 is better to take the water as Speed Bus number 2 in this race, and someone took a shortcut! Well, so now as Speed Bus number 2 in this race, what do you mean by number 2? Yep, it is Wrestling Instant Win Jackie Ted who took a shortcut at the wrestling area in the race. So now the Go-Getters 2.0 will have command of the lead. Just think Mickey Nelson hasn't got a single win after 10 races. But maybe this will be the day Mickey Nelson will get his first win. Wrestling Jackie Ted really needs to get wins too. Well, anyway, who got the next BS? It is number 1, who dominates over the 4th to a John in 5th place. Number 8, meanwhile, as we pass the 1 minute mark sign race, number 8, meanwhile, is getting all alone in last place. But who really got the next command? It's number 7, who leads number 2 in the dust for 6th place. Meanwhile, it looks like the Instant Replay Jackie Ted is safely in the lead heading into the top of the wall. And even though Mickey Nelson is going to last and drop down a couple races, he is going to job by the Instant Replay Jackie Ted with all his heart and spirit. No doubt about it. Next BS belongs to number 8, who desperately needs to catch up Mary now and then. Tyler Falls is quickly climbing up the wall, but I highly doubt he is going to make a miracle comeback to live true survey to another easy victory. Yep, Tyler Falls is grass. That means the Go-Getters 2.0 are going to get an easy victory this week. As Tyler Falls sees again what wakes up is now in next command because he is not going to have enough distance to catch up to Wrestling Instant Replay Jackie Ted in time. As just so he takes the next BS, Wrestling Instant Replay Jackie Ted with Mickey Nelson and the Go-Getters 2.0 to a miracle victory over Tyler Falls and Chip Survey. Wrestling Instant Replay Jackie Ted made the impossible, and that's why we say anything can happen in the Chao universe. Yep, no doubt about that one, folks. That's number 2. Well, the next command BS, that makes his second BS race. He and number 8 are both getting left behind the competition as this race comes to a close. There you have it. So with that incredible shortcut, the Go-Getters 2.0 prevail over this race. That's right. Coming up, we got more inside action for you, but first have a look at this. Alright, Paul, we're back from our commercials. Who we have for race number 8? Race number 8 will feature the 2017 Tag Team Champions, the Son and Rice Drive Alhins Jr. and his partner, Pen Pal Chris Penagos. They'll be taking on the fastest swimmer of the 48 Chao, Casey Mirasen, and his partner, Carl Tanner. Let's see who's going to call with the lucky dip this week. And please start the buzz! Okay, there goes Alhins Jr., Chris Penagos, Casey Mirasen, and Carl Tanner, all busting down the line. And right now it looks like number 7 is going to rest, so he will be left behind in the crowd. The 4 Chao going to shake the palm trees to bring down that coconut shaped fruit. Daytona Beach is showing on their feet in the standing ovation. And who is going to have command of the lead? It's going to be Chris Penagos, one half from the 2017 Tag Team Champions, who will be battling with number 8 up in front. And it looks like he is heading for the water. As number 2, who desperately needs to catch up back away at the palm trees, takes the opening toss. And look at that, number 1 is going to rest, so he'll have a little bit of catching up to do. And Chris Penagos is making his way towards the other side of the water. As Speedbus number 2 in this race, way made by Casey Raymondson. He is the fastest swimmer of the 48 Chao according to the spring status. Carl Tanner is safely in 2nd place, but he might need a lot of catching up to do if he wants to make the pass from Chris Penagos in a hurry. They're making their way towards the sapphire portion of the course to the top of the hill. As the next BS we made by the Son of the Rices to drive Alhins Jr. And right now it is number 1 who is getting left behind as we pass the 1 minute mark of this exciting race. Let's find out who is going to get that chance in the next command SPS, and that next SPS we made by number 7, who currently leads over the 4th to the Chao, battling with Carl Tanner for 2nd place. Right now it is Chris Penagos who is safely in the lead and making his way towards the wall. I don't think anyone's going to catch Chris Penagos. they're going to fulfill another win closer towards the second title in the last 3 years. Next PS belongs to number 1. Now he millionaires help. He's still in last place. Oh, but he's making it pass for number 2 because number 2 is going to rest. Oh, and down goes Alien Jr. That's going to cause serious damage. He is currently battling with Casey Emerson, but it doesn't matter. He is cheering on Christmas Uncles this week. As number 2 will get his second speed rush to the base. Trying desperately to make it come back. Christmas Uncles is at home stretch. He is going to make his way towards the gun line. As number 1 will get the next command SPUS. Christmas Uncles is approaching the home stretch, making the Ruby portion of the Emerald course. And as Carl Tanner takes the next command SPUS, Christmas Uncles is going to leave Albion Jr. 1 win closer towards the second title. Albion Jr. and Christmas Uncles are all winners. As Casey Emerson will get another turn. That makes his second SPUS race. Oh well, that's always next time, no doubt about it. And we have just enough time for one more speed rush over this race, and we made by number 7, making his second speed rush of the race. So Christmas Uncles leads Out Here Jr. to an easy victory. Congratulations to Out Here Jr. and Christmas Uncles indeed. More excitement after this message. Stay tuned. Oh, I'm getting so excited for the ChaoEmperor. The 4 vacation is coming closer and closer by the minute. Right now, we still got a couple more races before we get to hype up for the main event. So far, who we have race number 9? Well, brother, for race number 9, we have Hal and Dave from the Middle Trainers against the Galaxy Master, Han Shang Master, Garrett Dayton, and F1 Kingsley. F1 Kingsley is doing a solid season so far. Let's hope he gets another win towards fulfilling his G season tonight. Please start the race! And there goes the next 4 superstars pushing down the line. 2 teams are 2 superstars each. That's the Middle Trainers and Garrett and F1 make their way towards the palm trees after rushing through the rainbow path at the start of the course. And there they are. They're going to shake the palm trees to bring down that coconut-shaped fruit. And now they're going to eat the fruit. And there goes Hal Miller and F1 Kingsley. These 2 Chao will be battling for the lead up in the front. Let's see where in the world they are being. And it looks like they're both going to rest. Wow, what an interesting shocker. Anyway, who got the wing toss? It's number 8, who's trying desperately to get back in this one. And Garrett Dayton is with us. So he's going to be left behind in the competition all the way in the back. Now he really needs to make a statement in the only one. He is going to try to take a gamble by flying towards the water. And he paid off his shortcut with a 40. As Dave Miller was speed bus number 2 in this race for the Middle Trainers. Garrett Dayton overcame his losers left behind from the crowd early on. And now he is in the lead for the Golden Star and Harching Masters respectively. Who got the next speed bus? It's number 7. As we approach a 1 minute mark, battling with number 1 and F1 Kingsley for second place. And number 2 all the way in the back, passes from 1. So now he has a lot of catching up to do in the early run. So far, the fans are showing enjoying this exciting Chao race. And who will get the next command? It is Hal Miller on the Middle Trainers, that's who. But it will be a miracle to catch up to both Garrett Dayton and F1 Kingsley. Garrett Dayton is safely in the lead, and F1 Kingsley is starting in second place with all his spirit. Next speed belongs to Dave Miller. That makes his second speed bus of the race. And right now, poor number 2 is getting left behind in the competition. He is getting all last place. And Dave Miller is last. That means he's better to drop down a couple places to 7th place. And so he will get a second straight speed bus. That makes back-to-back speed bus for Dave Miller. And now he has 3 speed bus all around the wall. But I highly doubt he's going to make a miracle comeback from Garrett Dayton. No. Number 2 is not going to get speed bus for a while. That is. It is number 8 who will get the next command SPS. And right now, Garrett Dayton is at home stretch with F1 Kingsley right on his tail, guarding him with all his might. As number 2 finally gets the speed bus, he needed to stay alive in the game. Looks like everyone's going to do the Gunner Style Master because Garrett Dayton leads F1 Kingsley towards the victory. Well done by that team. As number 2, who once again trying to stay alive in the competition, gets back-to-back spears. So with that win, F5 Kingsway is now at 8-3. He now has 8 wins of his 11 races so far in his 2018 season. That's right, Paul. F5 Kingsway is having a solid season so far, and with that win, he might have a chance to make the playoffs, or definitely come back next season for 2019. We'll see you on. Back in a bit, do not go away. Okay, Paul, tell us what we have next. For race number 10, we have Jet Nice and Frank Valentine against the fastest runner of the 48 men, Raymond Hill, and his partner Michael Creighton, the senior class for year 2016. Coming up later on in the show, Ralph Dennis PFOs looks to survive a tough test in the main event when they face Corey Sanchester and Adrian Ojeda. But right now, let's head over to this exciting race, race number 10, and there's a little get the lineup for this race. So let's send down on the field again, and wish them the best of luck to these next 2 teams on the Class of Victory this week. And here we go, let's rock this place! And there goes Raymond Hill, bursting down the line, moving very quickly towards his palm trees. There are 8 palm trees, as a matter of fact, 1 for each part of the 8 Chao in rainbow colors. Raymond Hill is eating fruit, and there he goes, bursting down the line, heading into the bridges. Let's watch the other 3 Chao now. And it looks like Jet now and Michael Creighton are both dancing to the beat. That means Frank Valentine will have control of 3rd place. Number 2 will wind up in 2nd place, up in the middle pack, and use good rest. As Frank Valentine, who's taking the bridges, takes the opening toss. Number 2 is about to hit the water. And right now, poor number 1 is getting left behind in the competition. He is way behind the competition, all the way in the back. He really needs some speed runs, and he will get one of them. But I think he needs a lot more help than that to stay in the game. And guess who's making this race look nice and easy? It's Michael Creighton. He is leading the fastest runner, Raymond Hill, towards the lead over at the Sapphire portion course. He has took a shortcut with 14, and now he has a huge lead for his team. As we head back into number 1, who continues to battle for the DUI, now trying to catch up with number 8. No need to worry for me, Monel. This is a tag team format this week, so he should be able to get an easy victory. Frank Valentine and Jeff Nasby while trying their best to stay alive in the game. As Frank Valentine will get another turn, that makes his 2nd speed run of the race, but I highly doubt he's going to make a miracle comeback from either of his opponents. Right now, number 1 is getting left behind in the competition. He really needs to get a lot more speed runs tonight if he wants to get back in this one. But who really got into the next command speed runs? It's number 8, and he will lead number 1 and thus for DUI for the moment. Meanwhile, Michael Creighton is surely having a dominating lead. Well, Raymond Hill's going to rest, but he should be able to have a commanding win towards his Cinderella season this year. Michael Creighton's on the home stretch, and nobody's going to catch up to him in a hurry. So is Raymond Hill. Next PS belongs to number 1. That makes his best speed bus to the race. Michael Creighton and Raymond Hill has his race all wound up, ladies and gentlemen. As number 8 takes his 2nd speed bus to the race, you can tell me what up from Raymond Hill and Michael Creighton. As Michael Creighton comes to 1st place, and Raymond Hill will complete the 1-2 punch in 2nd place. Well done by these 2 superstars. As number 8, who made the pass to Frank Valentine, gets back-to-back speed runs. And poor number 1 is getting all alone in last place for DUI this time. It would be appropriate if he would get 1 more speed runs of this race. Will he get it? Yeah, he will. But he's better to retain last place behind number 7. And that's going to do it for this race. So, a number 5 win puts Raymond Hill at 9-2. That's right, and Michael is getting back on the right track. And it's more something coming up. We're just heating up with our tag team action. Stay tuned. Oh, and I'm ever so excited for the ChaoEmperor. Just a few more races to produce this week, and then the ChaoEmperor is on his way towards the Sunshine State for the first of his 2 400s for his 25th year of life. Right now, let's finish up today's races, and here's Paul for race number 11. Thank you, Brian. Yes. The first of those remaining races will feature, for race number 11, Gary Calls and Buster Jabo against the 2016 Rises on champion Joshua Samoy and Zach Orsick, who both have a solid season for Joshua and Zach. Let's hope they keep it up this week. Please start the base! Alright, so while final preparations are being made for the ChaoEmperor to hop into the car and drive to Florida with his family, we are wrapping up our Florida Vacation Countdown show here in Daytona Beach. And it's been an exciting time for us in the fans in the attendance for the Daytona Beach so far this week. And right now, the 2016 Rising Stars champion Joshua Salmon is going to have command of the lead up in the front. And who will get the only toss this time? It's number 1. And right now, he was aiming through, and now he's going to leave, trying to leave number 2 in the dust. Both he and number 2 are getting left behind in the competition. Ooh, it's going to get speed as number 2 in this race, as number 2 heads for the water. It is going to be Zach Arnson, not 2, trying to get another win closer towards making the 2019 playoffs. His partner Joshua Salmon is safely in the lead, ahead of Gary Coles, who is battling with Zach Arnson for 2nd place. As the next PS we made by number 1. Now leaving number 7 in the dust, that makes his 2nd speed bus to the race. And down goes number 7 for the count. And number 8 pauses for 1. So number 8 is going to be left behind in the competition all the way back. And so was number 7. As we head back into number 1, who is battling with Buster Jabo for 6th place. Meanwhile, Joshua Salmon continues to dominate over the 8 shell right now. I think Joshua Salmon and Zach Arnson are going to get another 5-minute race this week. No, they had a good season so far, and they're keeping it up this week. Next PS belongs to number 7, who is trying desperately to stay alive in the game. Right now, guess who is getting left behind in the competition all the way in the back? It's number 8, that's who. He might need a couple speed bus, but it's number 2 who really gets the next command PS, and down goes Buster and John. That's going to cost Boo too. Anyway, back up at the top of the wall, Joshua Salmon wants to go to rest, but he will still have a commanding lead, and Zach Arnson is right on his tail in 2nd place. Trying to maintain the ground, looks like he's going to rest, as the next PS we made by Gary Coles, who's trying to make one last effort to stay alive. Right now, Joshua Salmon is at the home stretch, the Ruby portion of the Emerald course. And I think he's going to have plenty of room ahead of Gary Coles at the moment. Yup, he is going to win this one for sure. As Buster John takes his 2nd speed of the race, here, Gary Coles won't have enough distance to catch up to Joshua Salmon in time. Joshua Salmon lifts Zach Arnson for the victory. Joshua Salmon came in first, and Zach Arnson will come in 2nd right behind him. As the last PMers up this race, as the 2 shift finishes up, the last PMers we made by number 8. He finally got some help, but he maintains last place easily behind the pack. Alright, so Joshua Salmon and Zach Arnson will lead us to the main event. That's right, we'll present our main event after we hear a word from this. So Paul, the ChaoEmperor is just about all set for the first of his 2 Florida trips for 2018. So I think it's time that we present Week 11's main event. And the fans are surely ready too. So are you ready? Yep, let's go, Brandon. For this month's tag team main event, we have our returning champions, Ralph Dennis and Peter Foles, taking on as the challengers for this month of April, Corey Starchester and Adrian Ajeta. Last month, they beat out last year's runner-up, Don Ranks and Luke Green, with authority. Let's find out if they can do it again for the month of April. And this one will feature the Golden Chao once again. So they're going to need a lot of A-game to bring out with each other race, featuring the Golden Chao. But I knew they can do it. So let's head down to the field one more time this week and present Week 11's main event. Everyone is on course. Without further ado, let's have a Chao race! And just to give you a little taste of Florida early, this week's main event is presented by Tropicana Orange Juice. Only the finest orange juice is made with Florida, grains and authority in Florida. So stop by your nearest grocery store and pick up a bottle of Tropicana Orange Juice today. And right now the 4 Chao are going to eat the fruit. And there they go, besting down the line. With Corey Starchester and Adrian Ajeta taking the 1-2 punch respectively. And right now it looks like number 7 is Cordes. And what will these Chao be doing? It looks like Peter Foles and Ralph Dennis are both heading for the water. as the first superstar against Beavers. Our week last main event presented by Tropicana Orange Juice is number 8, who really needs to catch up every now and then, and he made the pass from number 2. By now it looks like a couple of Chao are taking a one at the curve moment. There goes Corey Sanchez and Peter Foles is scoreless. That means Corey Sanchez will have the privilege to battle with Ralph Dennis up in the front as number 8, who desperately needs to catch up every now and then. Over a week-long main event presented by Tropicana Orange Juice with back-to-back spears. Currently number 2 in the dust. Up in the front, Ralph Dennis is surely having a good time defending the lead, and a new Jetta pauses for point. That will drop down a couple places that time, as the next spears will be made by Peter Foles, who is running away from the other team with that speed bus. Now he's catching up to his partner Ralph Dennis. Right now it looks like 3 of the Golden Show are getting left behind. Numbers 1 and 2 are battling for D-Life all the way back, and down goes Corey Sanchez for the count. Number 8 seems like he also really needs some help. But who really got the next command spears? It is going to be made by none other than Corey Sanchez, who's trying desperately to get back in this one. He is currently catching up to both Peter Foles and Ralph Dennis, and it looks like Avery Jones doing his best to catch up with the other team as well. What is going to happen? Which team will come around as the able tag team on them up on us? We'll find out soon enough. Next spears belongs to number 2, who really needs to catch up because he was in last place prior to that spears. Now there will be a little bit of catching up to do. And right now Peter Foles has command lead, and it looks like Ralph Dennis and Avery Jetta all going to mess. That means Corey Sanchez will have the privilege to battle with Peter Foles up for the lead. As number 2, who can forget about going to mess, takes the next command spears, and now he leads over the 4 Golden Chao. And right now it looks like Peter Foles is safely at the home stretch. No one is going to catch up to him in a hurry. As number 7 takes the next speeders, Peter Foles and Ralph Dennis are in a tag team a month for the 2nd month in a row. Peter Foles comes in first place, and he is smiling for another great season. And right now number 8 is getting left behind. He will have the next command spears. That makes his better spears race, but he's still in last place behind Ralph Dennis. And that's going to do it for this week's main event. So with that miracle win, Ralph Dennis and Peter Foles retain tag team month for the 2nd straight month. That's right, they'll be coming back in 4 weeks, and we'll tell you all about it at the We Hear Word from This. Do not go away. Alright, so congratulations to Ralph Dennis and Peter Foles on another job well done in April's tag team main event. Now, the ChaoEmperor is going to be away for the next couple of weeks. So, Ralph Dennis and Peter Foles will be coming back in 4 weeks to determine the next tag team main event. And Chao Singh will be off until then, so we'll return on May 27th for more exciting action. So, with that being said, that's it for week-long action here in Daytona Beach, Florida. Thanks to everyone for participating in your lives with us today. And if you see the ChaoEmperor, make sure to say hi to him. And, oh yes, like, comment, and subscribe. We'll be back in 4 weeks for our next exciting edition. Until then, the Spanish Giant signing off. Keep on smiling. Enjoy your vacation, ChaoEmperor, and so long, everybody! Thank you for joining us on our Florida Vacation Countdown Show. This is Paul Simon Wilson. We'll see you in 4 weeks for the next exciting edition of ChaoEmperor 2018!